Welcome back to the channel, guys. So, I came to the conclusion the other day that it's hotter than hell in South Carolina. It's 90 degrees. And also that people want to be controlled by the government. I came to this conclusion a little while ago, but the past couple of days, talking to someone on the comment section proved that he was perfectly okay with the government controlling him. And in his eyes, and most people's eyes, it's not controlling him, it's just controlling the felon. It's just controlling that person over there, you know, the person that we don't like. Well, eventually what's going to happen is, what if you get in a court situation, or, you know, what if you get a DUI and have a felony on your record and they take your guns away? Then you might understand. I don't know. I mean, the evidence is right there and people refuse to look at it. It irritates me. I think I'm done with the comment section stuff for now. I've been hitting it hard probably the past 2 weeks, and they didn't learn. I don't think I got anyone to even understand what I was saying. And the problem was, it wasn't just me doing it. It was some people on the group chat that I'm on. We was doing it. We was replying to people, trolling people. Tech T was hitting them hard. Me and Freedom was hitting this guy in particular, and with truth, and he just refused to see it. I don't understand that. I just don't get it. But the title of this video is God, Not Government. What does that refer to? It refers to our rights. Now, I'm not a religious person like some people are. I know some people go to church 3 days a week. I have my neighbors down the road that are pretty good friends of mine, two twins, brothers. They go to church. If they're not at work, they're at church. I mean, that's one or the other, and good on them. But I've never been a church person, but I do believe there's a higher power, and I do believe we have natural rights. And I'm really surprised that all these Republicans that say they are, you know, Southern Baptists and a Christian, and they believe in God, but they don't believe that God gives them right. They believe the Constitution does. They believe the government grants it. It's so fucked up, it's not even funny. And a person that's never been to church really a day in his life actually understand what the Constitution is. This guy brought up felon. It's just to, you know, be a dick apparently and try to change some things around, trying to make me stumble on my words mainly. But I wrote some stuff down, some notes, and then this is basically what I said to him. I mean, we went at it for almost 2 days, so I think I probably replied to him just myself 15, 20-ish, maybe 15 times. I'm not sure how many times total. 15 probably. Freedom Inc. responded about the same, and this guy still didn't get it. I mean, he had no clue, and he kept on mumbling the same stuff. Felons, when they step out of prison, still have the right to bear arms. The reason why is because the government never can take rights. If they could, it would be a privilege, and that's true. If you don't understand that right there, that little sentence, and then you don't understand a lot, and you're really misinformed, isn't it? And they do it to us. I mean, they say the NICS check is not an infringement on our rights. It's not a restriction, which is complete bullshit. And if 2020 hasn't taught you anything, that New Jersey closed down their background check system because they can control whatever in New Jersey. And even here in South Carolina, has been backlogged. So I'm surprised when I bought a gun last year, right after Christmas, that we got it, you know, within 10 minutes, but it went through pretty easily. But he says usually people have to wait a little while, 6-7 hours, you know, a day, or up to 3 days, depending on how backlogged they are. But we got there early that day, and it wasn't that bad, me and my brother. But he couldn't understand that. He was completely okay with the government taking someone's rights. Oh, what? could be a felon, it could be mentally ill, it could be a kid with Down syndrome, whatever you want to claim. As long as it's not you or this person, you're okay with them doing it. It doesn't affect you, but it's not about the whole, it's about the individual rights. So I have the right to bear arms. You have the right to bear arms. If you choose not to have guns, you choose not to have a knife or anything, that's completely up to you. You do what you want to do. But no one can tell you you can't have it. And that's where I disagreed with a little bit on Coda Boy's video. I don't know. 3-4 weeks ago, when he was talking about those military people doing, oh God, what's the name? I know the name off the top of my head. I can't think of it. They bought like 90 guns in a couple months to resell them apparently on the streets. And he was like, well, 2 or 3 guns a month is good enough for me. And he was like completely okay with buying that many guns was basically the grounds of the ATF to investigate these people. No, it's not. If I want to buy 100 guns in a day, if I want to go to a gun store, if I have the money to buy all the guns in there and all the ammo, why does the government have to know? Why does the government, first of all, even care? Because they get scared of me? Because I might be arming people. Oh my God. I might be doing some kind of Waco stuff around here. It's amazing what people are okay with. If you don't think the government watches you when you buy a gun, when you post a gun on Instagram or a picture of it or a video of it, you're stupid. They do. And the more you post of that shit, the more they pay attention to it. And that's just my personal opinion. This guy came up with arms. He says, well, we have the right to bear arms. He said, but the government can take a little bit, a portion of arms. And he used a good thing. And I didn't think about this. And when he said it, I was like, I agree with that. But I agree with what you're saying with the definition, but I disagree with what the government can do. Because they can't. What does arms stand for? Well, arms stands for everything, right? Knives, guns, grenade launchers, muskets, fucking et cetera, right? Flamethrowers, anything you want to think of. Well, if the government can restrict 1% of that definition of arms, then that right to bear arms automatically becomes a privilege. And he couldn't understand that. And he says, well, when some people come out of prison, they can't own a gun, but they can own a knife. And that's good enough for self-defense. What world do you live in, dude? Yes, people can come out. If someone kills someone, does 10 years in prison for manslaughter, let's say kills them with a 9mm, a Glock 19. He comes out, he can most times possess a razor blade or a knife or certain stuff like that. And a lot of felons can possess black powder guns. Black powder guns. Usually, most of them can. But they still can't possess a gun. Why is that? Maybe because they've seen the system, how it worked. Maybe because next time they're not going to go to prison. They're just going to, well, I didn't do nothing wrong last time, and I'm definitely not doing wrong this time, People still have the right to bear arms. Just because Johnny down the road doesn't agree with it, doesn't mean it's true. Rights are given by God, or whatever person, whatever being you believe in, and government cannot touch it. If the government gave it to us, if the government came out and gave us, a right or a privilege, people use driving as a privilege, but it's really not. But let's say, for sake of argument, that they could technically take it away. So the argument would be, they can make a law right now, anyone under the age of 30 can't drive. Would they do that? Probably not. And the reason, 2 reasons. One, it would wreck the economy even worse. But 2, driving's not a threat to them. Driving, even though it's patriotic constitution made, in his live stream talked about that, it's more of a right, and I need to clip that and post it. But if he's watching this, you need to make that video. You need to talk about that. That's a good talking point. But it's not a threat to them. If we have guns, if we have scary AR-15s with things on it they don't understand, such as suppressors or night vision scopes or a magazine over, oh my God, 30 rounds, they get scared of that because they know that would be something that we could defend against them with. driving a vehicle is not a really threat. A single shot 20 gauge ain't really a threat. But a high capacity magazine with these green tip ammo, that's a threat, you know, to them, especially when they want us to be slaves. It's amazing to me how many people on the right actually are completely brainwashed to believe that certain restrictions are okay. And they're the same people that say, well, the Democrats are not taking my guns because I lost them all in a boating accident. That joke's real old. It was funny at the first couple of days, but it got real old real fast. And people just don't understand that. Losing them or burying them is really, that's complying in a different way. Not complying is getting a group of your people and walking in front of the mayor's office and say, fuck you, with your stuff on you, you know, with your gear. That's not complying. But people rather type on the internet and say, my Second Amendment right or my constitutional rights. And when you ask them, and I'm about done with asking them. They usually come on me. That's how we get in these debates. This guy came on our thread. And when you tell them or ask them a question, they get all defensive. And when you lay out the facts, it could be related to the Constitution, for example. What is the Constitution? It's a restriction on government. And you just lay that out, and you explain it the best way you can, they get all bent out of fucking shape. And it's funny to me how some of these people just, they don't get it. And then they refer to, well, I'm gonna call my senator anyway. You know? I seen comments on guns and gadgets, swear to God, and you guys probably have seen them too. Well, we have the Second Amendment right to possess guns, but I called my senator anyway, just to make sure he understood that. I'm like, what did you say? What did you say? Of course, they don't reply to you when you ask that. Because some of them probably don't even call, they say they do. And some of them probably just beg, well, I don't want to turn my guns, or how much money is it going to cost me to turn my guns in? Well, I ain't giving them a fucking penny. And that's the problem. A lot of these people that are, just addicted to guns and gadgets and Coda Boy and Coleon and just constantly watch this. And the ATF it's important. I'm not saying it's not. But constantly watch that stuff. I swear to you, probably 40 to 50% of those people are doing the calculations. How much money does it cost me to keep my AR-15? They're doing the math. Because they really believe, one, the president can outright ban shit. Two, that the government can do it. The Congress and the Senate can make a law that infringes on your rights. And three, they don't believe their rights is absolute. They believe that the Constitution is a permission slip for them. Well, if they take the Second Amendment away, I won't have the right to carry my gun. Bullshit! You're still a free person. You can light the Constitution away right now. It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. You still have the right to bear arms. What you do with your money is none of my business, none of the government's business. The problem is, and the reason why the Constitution is basically worthless now, and the Bill of Rights, is because no one stands behind it. And we have people clapping their fucking hands over this open carry bullshit, or this concealed carry bullshit in these different states. And you try to explain it to them, and I know on the internet's probably not the best, but you try to explain it to them. I've explained to a few people right in their, right face to face what the bill was. And they just looked at you like, wow, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, because you probably didn't read the fucking bill, dude. Of course you're not. It is beyond ridiculous that people just want to live the life the government wants them to. And again, they won't stand behind the Constitution 100%. Even if they recognize what it is, they won't stand behind it. They stand behind these bogus bills. And someone said it, and apparently he replied back to me saying he was joking. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I still screenshot it on my other channel. I don't know if I posted it yet. I have a few videos up there scheduled out, but this guy said, I've been waiting for this day since 1776. The Declaration of Independence was written that year, right? We all agree with that, okay? Who was it written by? Free people, okay? It was written by free people. These pro-gun bills that are being written right now are written by the government. Does anyone see a problem with that? Am I the only one that sees a problem with that? I mean, seriously, there's a problem with that. You had free people that wrote the Declaration of Independence saying, you know, here's our problems, and this is basically a big fuck you to the king. We're done with the government. And we have people today in these Republican states, South Carolina and Texas, to be exact, mainly right now, supporting the government writing a permission slip. Like, no. How about this? You write you write your own grievance letter. You get 1 million people to stand behind it, and you go walk your little ass to the office of the governor and give it to him. 100% freedom, just big old cap letters. You could be free. No gun control, no taxes. You do those two things, you could be free. And you can list some other stuff. But people won't do that. You know why? They're scared of that blue line. Because if they actually marched up there and did that, they would have to know that they might have to fight. And how dare them even think about fighting someone they support? That's the problem with America. So, you guys have a great day. I'll make a video. I got a few videos I want to repost. I'll see you guys later. Stay armed. Stay safe.